Evening, everybody. UltimatDjz here from the Talking Trek podcast with another video. Long awaited. People have been asking me. They've been like, DJ, tell me about these superhighways. First of all, I hereby outlaw the term superhighway. Okay? You hear it, Scopely? I'm nixing it. I'm no longer calling them superhighways. I refuse. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you transwarp conduits. I'm sure CBS is going to fire me for that. Good evening, Gregor. Good evening, Bubba Joe. As we continue our series into exploring all that G5 has to offer, here we are. Everybody's been asking me, man, they've been asking about these superhighways, Gregor. Even you have been trying to figure out the best path forward into these superhighways, right? We've been trying to explore what they are, and to this point, only a handful of players have actually unlocked it. A lot of players still working towards getting to that particular area where they can. If you have curious questions or need information about the transwarp conduits, then we are here to provide it for you here today. Right, Bubba Joe? We've got it.
Absolutely.
Let's jump right in. Gregor, if you would, please show me your screen. We're going to pop on over here into Gregor's screen. Here we go. And we see, listen, by the way, this is not in my game. I'm going to show you my game real quick, okay? Same area, all right? Same area. Nothing. No little red wavy lines, okay? No red wavy lines anywhere. I have no red wavy lines, but Gregor has them, all right? Look, right there from Rua. All right, all the way moving east into what we would presume to be Klingon space. All right, see those red lines? It's actually very graphically, it's pleasing, Gregor. I kind of like it. It looks kind of cool. All right.
I'm surprised they didn't color them by faction or something, but yeah.
It is interesting. Maybe that could still come, because here's the thing. Right now, players are not 100% sure where they are or where they go. So, Gregor, let's start here. We've got 4 superhighways. We've got 4 transwarp conduits, all right? First, let's identify the Klingon transwarp conduit. There you go. Right there. That's the Klingon one, okay? But
I think it actually runs from here.
I was going to say, because isn't the point of these is to cut down warp times as you are heading from Klingon space to Klingon deeper space, right? Isn't that the entire point?
Right. That's what I suspect. I think that's right.
Because these are level 39 systems. You look here, this is not dark space right here. This is regular, independent, low independent space. So I'm presuming then that the idea is to use these faction transwarp conduits to be able to get to the deeper systems without that infamous screenshot that we saw here not long ago of a 1 hour and 12-minute warp time. All right. So we've seen the Klingon one there going from level 39 space up. Show me the Romulan one. How do we get from the Romulan system? So you're thinking...
And as far as I can tell, it should be this here.
And it comes from... So it still is passing through that Klingon system. Go west. Go west.
So I think these system breaks are where it happens. But I'm not 100% sure about that because I have not unlocked one yet.
Interesting, because, yeah, we do see Gradius right there that looks like it runs through Tyrol. And maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's like a transwarp conduit that just passes right over it. Who knows? Maybe they do run through those systems, or maybe they're just kind of points, because here's the Federation one over here. I do see that. All right. And then we've got the 4th one, which is actually coming back over to this little hub over here, is then heading south. All right. So here, go down. Yeah. So here's this little hub that we've got here. And even though, again, everything red and seemingly running through Klingon space, if we head south right here, we go south, we hit that little waypoint right there, then we're going to head west through what seems to be the bottom of Klingon space. This one is actually the origin space superhighway. So we're going to talk a little bit about that one too. Now, how do we get these things unlocked? Well, first step, Gregor, you got to be Ops 53. Okay. Step number 1 is you got to be Ops 53. Take a look on over here into STFC.space, everybody, where Ripper has been kind enough to get us the data. All right. So this is simply a research. Okay. It's a research that we unlock. Now, Gregor, as first we can see here, we've got to be Ops 53 to even start on this. However, that's to start on the research. What you should not be waiting on, if you are Ops 51 and higher, you should be 100% doing this event every single time that it pops. It's called Pinnacle of Power Material Mining. Gregor and Bubba, as we have been able to determine, at least over the last 2 weeks, this event is running every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 3 times per week. And it's simple, right? Gregor, it seems like it just requires you to do a G5 daily at 1.1 billion reputation or higher. I mean,
even less. Even less. Yeah.
All right. So if we look down here, here are the milestones. 45,000. This is Ops 53, requiring 45,835 G5 material mined. If you go up to say 56, are going to require 70,000. If you're Ops 51, only requiring 25,000. All right. And of course, I guess I should be fair about it. The amount of your G5 mining daily, Bubba Joe, does it go much higher than 75,000?
From what I've seen, it does not. But even if it did, it's just a few extra hours of mining.
I was going to say, you're going to have maybe by the time you're Ops 58 or 57, you might have to do a little bit extra. But nonetheless, you'll be able to see these total amounts that you have to mine in order to finish this event, which is going to run every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It is Ops based. And the amount of G5 material that you have to mine is going to award you varying amounts of raw intelligence. Now, my warning over the last 3 weeks to people has been, listen, do these events, keep the raw intelligence, but don't spend it yet. Because, Gregor, I believe there's a strategy to it, right? Don't spend the raw intelligence yet until we've had time to flesh it out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Gregor and Bubba Joe and I have done just that. With the assistance of Ripper, who sees and knows all in the form of data, we've been able, ladies and gentlemen, to break down the actual research costs. So I'm going to bring you back over here to stfc.space, where we're going to talk about these superhighways. So let's start with Gregor is doing Romulan. That's his chosen faction. Now, just, Gregor, real quick, why might I choose Romulan if Romulan was my chosen faction? That may not be the actual smartest move. Would it be?
For me, it was just about the ship I was going after. But yeah, it may not be. Originally, I actually pushed up Klingon because that's where I had the most faction credits. But I've switched to Romulan because that's where I want the ship to come from. As far as superhighways, maybe not.
Maybe not. Would I want? Go ahead, Bubba Joe. I bet you're getting ready to say what I'm thinking.
So I actually want to go against whatever faction I'm grinding because it makes the work time to grind that much faster.
Exactly. If I am chasing Romulan faction, then ideally I probably want to unlock Federation, right? Because the Federation hostiles give the most Romulan rep. Is that accurate still? Hopefully.
I think it's a wash if it's your miner versus your warship. But, because you got to go to the faction side you're on to get the mining resources, but then you got to go grind the other faction. That's true. Warship.
Yeah, that's true. You're going to have to be mining. Well, obviously, maybe then the carrot has been dangled, Gregor. Maybe you just want to do them both. Right? So let's talk about, and maybe Scopely has even designed it in such a way that you're going to have to. So let's just take a look at any one random, all right? Let's approach it from Gregor's perspective, which is of mining, and we're going to start with Romulan, all right? The Immortal Superhighway. That's Romulan, by the way. Real quick, KSG, that's the Klingon one, okay? Klingon Science Group, that's what they're called. And then finally, Section 31, which is the Federation, okay? Now, each of these have a set of prerequisites, and this is somewhat complicated, but you guys follow us through, and Gregor's going to pull up his research tree so that we can actually see it. So let's start with the Romulan, okay? In order for us to unlock Romulan Superhighway, it's just a one-level research. It's like a prime. You turn it on. It's either unlocked or it's not, but it does have prerequisites. So we're going to start here with its cost in Romulan intelligence. I've got this written down. I'm going to note it. 32,000 Romulan intelligence. All right, we've got that written down. Perfect. 100% yay. Now, we also have to unlock Immortal Offensive Strategies Level 4. Now, I'm going to switch over to Gregor's screen so that we can see where this lies. Here is this section in the combat research tree, all right? So right here is Immortal Superhighway. It's locked. But to do it, we have to begin with Immortal Offensive Strategies, which is right here, also locked. And we need that to be level 4. Well, in order to get to level 4, we're going to have to spend more Romulan intelligence to get it to 4. There's 24,000, 20,000 at level 3, 18,000 at level 2, and 16.3 thousand at level 1. But you'll notice that there's other dependencies here along the way. Just to get this one, offensive strategies, to 4, we need tactical training at 3. And tactical training is the one at the beginning of this little tree right here. So that's going to have to be level 3. In order to get that one to level 3, we're going to come back over here. To get it to level 3, we need 24,000 there, 18,000, and 16.3 thousand. Now, thankfully, no more prerequisites here beyond other than just R&D level 30 or 53. All right. So we're going to come back in here and let's start again because we need level 4 here. We need level 3 on tactical training. But we also notice that we're going to need, that's level 2. Okay, good. And then shield mitigation level 1. Fantastic. So I think we've got everything pretty much covered here, right, Gregor? And if we look at all the Romulan intelligence that it's going to cost, we added up all of these different researches, it's going to cost, Gregor, if my notes serve me well, 152,900 Romulan intelligence. And by the way, that is including the 32,000 that we've got to do right here. Did we do that right? Let's add up all the numbers. We got 24,000, 20, 18, 16.3, 24, 18, 16.3, 16.3. Nope, we forgot the original 32,000, Gregor. All right, we forgot it. So 152.9 plus the 32 is actually 184,900 Romulan intelligence. That's what we're going to need. Now, how, Bubba Joe, do we earn Romulan intelligence? We're earning the raw intelligence every single time we go through this event. We're earning raw intelligence, but how do I make this into Romulan intelligence?
Well, that would be in your faction store.
Ladies and gents, let's switch back over to Gregor's screen here where we go into the faction store and you will see a new bundle. Now, we can see that we're getting a bundle of 500 here. We see the cost down here at the bottom, 1 chest for 1,000. We see, 5 chests for 5,000, 10 chests for 10,000. Now, first thing that I'm noticing here, finally, for the love of all things holy, Scopely, thank the Lord, we don't see a reverse cost efficiency here with regards to bulk buying. Right, Bubba? That's one of the biggest things we've complained about. Gregor, you've mentioned it, especially in the Outlaw store. We actually see a straight line level here. So, if whether we buy 1 chest or 10 chests, it does not cost us anything extra to go a little bit faster, right? Mm-hmm. Which is actually probably a good thing because we have been telling players to hold on to the raw intelligence. That's actually why I've been telling you to hold on to it, because I knew you wouldn't be penalized for bulk claiming it. That being said, you only get 1 click. 1 click, and then it's got a 22-hour cooldown, so click carefully. All right, and then it's got a 22-hour cooldown. Do you need to click this every single day? No, probably not. Right, G? I mean, now.
I don't think you could click it every single day anyways.
No, probably not. You got 9,000. Doesn't hurt you to wait until you get 10,000 because there's no reverse cost efficiency. And you're going to walk away with 5,000 raw intelligence. That's what you're going to get for this, for the 10,000 amount of raw intelligence. Now, let's come back over here to my notes very quickly. What we are looking at then, if we are going to need 100, and where was my new math? Here we go, 184.9 thousand actual Romulan intelligence, then folks, we're going to double this number, and that is the amount of raw intelligence we're going to need just to unlock this Romulan superhighway. So let's just round it out and call it 370,000. Okay? 370,000 raw intelligence is what we're going to need, Gregor. All right? But we can do it 3 times, technically. We're going to have to do it Romulan, Federation, and Klingon, depending on what you want. And as you and Bubba Joe both pointed out, there's going to be a different strategy. Do I want to send my warship? Do I want to send my miner? You're going to want to do more than one, right? So,
yep.
370 for one, 370 for the next one. And maybe, Bubba Joe, you decide you want to skip the third one because it's just not important to you right now, right? We're going to skip one.
Exactly.
Then we're going to come over here. We're going to unlock this last one. G, if you don't care, we don't need to. I guess we already showed the one that went all the way south and all the way west into territory space, right? Well, that's an important one. You guys probably spend a lot of time in territory space. All right, so that's one that we want to unlock. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs! You got to unlock all three. All right, this is where Scopely grabs ya, okay? So, Bubba Joe, Gregor, doesn't matter which one. Doesn't matter which ones you want to do because you have to do all three. Yay. All right, now we have gone back through and checked. This is the same price tag for each of these three. There are, at this time, no research efficiencies. So, 370,000 raw intelligence for all three. Times that by 3, and you've got 1.1 million raw intelligence needed just to unlock the 3 faction superhighways, plus a piddly little amount of 13,000 faction intelligence from each faction to open the territory capture space, or the origin space. All right, for, let's see, that makes that 39,000. That makes it 78,000. So let's add 78 over here. 78,000, which means your grand total, Gregor, is going to be 1.18 million raw intelligence to get this open. Now, that sounds like a lot. How can we get it? 1.18 million. Well, the first thing that we saw, let's switch back over here to stfc.space. First place you're going to get it is every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from this little event right here. You can get, for example, in this particular event, 845, if you're an Ops 55 level player, there you go, 8,450. That's a long road. Of course, you get to do that 3 times a week, 25,000. All right, we'll take the 1.1 million and divide it by 25, and you're looking, actually, that's not redonkulously bad, Gregor. 44 weeks to unlock the entire superhighway roadmap. All right, not terrible, and that's, of course, assuming you stay Ops 55 the entire time with no progression. It's going to be a little bit longer if you're an Ops 51. It's going to be a little bit faster if you're an Ops 58. But, Gregor, as always, Scopely has looked out for you guys who want to go a little bit quicker, right? Let's switch back over to Gregor's screen. And what have they, in fact, offered you, G?
A pack.
A pack to skip the grind, which ironically, and I'm teasing a little bit, but it's always how it should be. You should always be able to skip a little bit of grind. You shouldn't just be able to have things, but be able to skip the time grind. And actually, really, mathematically speaking, this pack ain't bad, is it? It's a Limit 5 pack. It's $100, but you got to think, these right here, these are specific faction intelligence, and they are worth double in the form of raw intelligence. So this particular pack, 13,000 times 3, then we're going to double that, is worth 78. Then the 78 plus the 65. This one pack is actually worth 143,000 raw intelligence out of the 1.1 million you need. If you were so impatient enough that you wanted to buy it 5 times, it's going to get you over 75% of the way there. Okay? Easily, Gregor, unlocking 2 of the factions immediately and just making you kind of grind on that third one. All right, 715,000 of the raw intelligence is what you're going to need, or what it's going to be able to get you if you do all of that. Ladies and gentlemen, are you showing us an away team assignment that is also giving some? Oh, no, it's costing some. Let's take a look at some of these new assignments here. Gregor, what do you see? You see a brand new assignment now, don't you? And it's giving an Alliance Exo Comp. We've been talking about this. How do you earn them? Ops, what was it, 46 plus? Ops 46 plus in their 7-day chest. Ops 51, got one when you built Ops 51, and now at Ops, actually I think it was Ops 51, now getting the away team assignment for you to earn an Alliance Exo Comp. But, stranger danger, it's costing intelligence. Is this costing raw intelligence? Or is it costing faction?
It's costing faction.
Here, let me move my cat out of the way. People can't see. Look, there we go. Click on that little button again. It's costing a specific faction. Go up to the upper right-hand corner.
Specific faction, yeah.
This one looks like Federation. Wow, your screen is grainy. Yep, that's Section 31 intelligence, if you guys can't see that right there. Required for some research, some away team assignments. Even some refits. Could this be a nod of something to come? All right, some refit's going to be costing some of that faction intelligence as well. So you may not want to be dumping 100% of it into the research. I guess it just depends. How important are Alliance exocoms to you as compared to cutting down your warp time? Now, everybody's familiar with the screenshot that we saw on the early days, Gregor, flying to this deep space right now. How long is it taking you to actually warp to one of these deep systems? Can you show us a warp timer to one of these systems out here?
For sure.
Where are you based right now? Can you tell us?
In territories.
You're based
bottom of territories.
In territories, all right? A 15-minute warp right now, which actually is not bad. Didn't we see a timer, Bubba Joe, that was like an hour? 15 minutes isn't horrible, I guess. Is it? Maybe not. However,
not that bad.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
When you're waiting for something.
That's true. What we have heard, and we have not seen, however, we do know that some players out there have already unlocked this. Sadly, I have not gotten my hands on one of those guys yet. We're going to try. But from what I understand, it's cutting that warp time down to just a couple of minutes. Have you seen any of this out there, Bubba Joe? Have you seen any screenshots, Gregor, of what the superhighways are actually doing for players?
I have not seen screenshot yet, but what I have been told is that it cuts the timers down significantly and the warp range.
Ooh, the warp range as well, huh?
Which means it's easier to send other ships to that area, whether you want to send a miner that's maybe a G4 miner that doesn't quite have the warp range. But yes, that's what I've been told.
The rumors are a-flying out of here at Talking Trek. We don't know.
Save some mycelium, I guess, that way.
Yeah, save a little mycelium.
It actually reduces the distance to the systems where they end up to warp distance 30.
Oh, so yeah, it is shortening the warp range then. So you can get a lot more ships up there. I'll be daggone.
And of course, the interconnects in the deep space might be still high, but if you go to an end of a superhighway, it's gonna be warp 30.
I'm kind of curious though. Is it the opening? Is it the entry system? Is the high warp gate? Like, what is the warp?
It's all warp 185 at entry.
Well,
the entry.
But if it's reducing, if the superhighway is making it 30, then what is the distance between this system and this system, which we can't possibly know? Not yet, anyway. We can't know that.
That's true.
Well, actually, I guess we can. We can, because
I'm pretty
it's a
sure
higher
that's still
number.
going to be warp 230.
It is still going to be warp
230.
230.
Yes.
It is still going to be 230. So,
but the nice part is the superhighway drops you off at a mining node on every one of them.
Exactly.
So you could get your G3 miners theoretically up there without spending mycelium or G4.
There you go. See, all kinds of kind of super genius behind the design of these superhighways. And there you go. What do the superhighways do? They're saving you time. They're allowing you to save mycelium. They're dumping you off in a mining node and allowing any ship warp 30 or better to get there with the use of these superhighways. So Ops 53, you have a new challenge in front of you. This challenge now becomes, how can you fully enjoy this new G5 territory space, at least at the early levels? How are you getting your dailies done without having to jump, without having to use a great deal of mycelium every day? You're going to have to spend a few months grinding out this raw intelligence. But it is definitely a grindable path, and yet another example of something, Bubba Joe, that has been introduced in G5 that is 100% completely grindable, that is somewhat reasonable. I mean, really, if you didn't spend a dime on this thing, you could have it done in 44 weeks. All right.
Let's not forget that Ops 53 is not a cakewalk. Like, Gregor and I were able to get to Ops 52 with a little bit of an investment, but we've been looking at the requirements to get to Ops 53, and it's the first real hurdle.
It's a big one. Thankfully, Scopely has made it so that you don't have to wait to begin. And that is what I'm talking about here with Pinnacle of Power material mining. Go ahead and do this event. Don't think, what's this currency? I don't need this currency. Yes, you do. You're going to need a bunch of it, all right? As a matter of fact, you're going to need to do this event. Now, here's what's great, Bubba Joe. Think about this. if this event is available from day one, then your 44-week timer has already begun. And because there's no reverse cost penalty in the faction store, you're going to be able to go through that at 10 times the rate at which you acquired it. You can pull 10 chests per day at the same, with the same cost efficiency as one chest. So do these events.
No. There's no timer at all.
Oh, we thought there was a 22-hour cooldown. There's no timer?
There is no timer at all.
Even better. Even better, folks. So do this Pinnacle of Power. Do this event starting right now, because now is going to begin your timer of acquisition of this intelligence, okay? The raw intelligence. Start it now. Do these events now. Just bank it until you are ready to actually start investing in the actual faction intelligence, which is going to come, ironically, probably, assumedly, around Ops 53. Do you want to refine a little bit of it earlier for some faction or alliance exocomps? Sure, maybe if you want. But I would be willing to bet that most players, at least initially, are going to want to knock this out. And the long-term mechanic, Bubba Joe, becomes the alliance exocomps. Agreed?
And let's not forget, you're right, but let's not forget that, while obviously the goal here is to get to, using your terminology, the transwarp conduits.
That's right.
You're getting something along the way. These other researches are actually beneficial to you along the way, and they may not be hugely beneficial, but you're gaining a benefit to get to work your way to the conduits.
Absolutely. Let's switch back on over into Gregor's screen where he is reading our thoughts. All right, and coming back over here, let's take a look at these researches real quick as we get ready to wrap up. PvP centric, increasing damage against player targets, all grade 5 ships. That's offensive strategy. Shield mitigation. All right, here's defensive maneuvers, reducing damage from G5 ships. All right, the Federation, Section 31, increasing damage against stations. I would actually argue that that's the most meaningless one. Probably. I don't know. You guys going to be raiding a bunch of level 51 plus bases up there? Doubt it. All right.
I doubt it.
Yeah, doubt it. All right, increasing critical hit damage. That's good. All right, first 2 rounds of combat. That's good. Reducing opponent's critical hit chance. Hey, folks, that's a very small number, but nonetheless, but at least it's there, I guess. All right, so all of these are PvP based and going to actually get you some benefit along the way for some of this research. All right, and again, you know what?
This one's almost like another Prime Officer.
Yeah, look at that, increasing attack, defense, and health for all officers up to 75%. And let me switch back into STFC.space for something here real quick. Do these researches actually begin at level 53? Is that where you have to be to actually start working on them? It looks like it. Yep. All of them. Even...
No, they don't.
No. I can do the first 2, the first level of the first 2 right now.
Just not super.
I know that.
Yep, there it is. Look, you start unlocking them at Ops 51, so you can kind of get in here and start tinkering with some of these a little bit early. So, you know what? I say bank it. You could start doing some of this early research if you wanted to get some benefit out of it leading up to your Ops 53 unlock of the transwarp conduits, but definitely the long-term play there is to get all 4 of these unlocked. And then you've got a leftover mechanic in the Alliance exocomps. Ladies and gentlemen, SuperHighways, a.k.a. transwarp conduits. Gregor, just real quick, 15 seconds. Is this kind of a cool mechanic?
It is. I wish I could get to it faster.
Bubba, you kind of feeling like it was decently well designed? Is it obtainable? I mean, can you legit do this free to play?
You absolutely. So there's no barrier to doing this. If you're going to be able to do your G5 mining dailies, you're going to be able to do this. So absolutely is able to be free to play once you have a miner that can get out there. So, you're going to have a miner or the discovery and use mycelium. But yes, it's absolutely something that could just be done as a part of the gameplay. And it's offered early enough that it's going to be useful for the late game, the 53 to 60 range, so that you can improve your warp times moving out there. So it's do I wish I could use it now at 52? Sure, but I think where it's at is actually okay.
There you go, everybody.
Go into one of those SuperHighways again real quick. Any one of them?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
And click on that level 4 Immortal Offensive Strategies. Yeah, look, the only cost is intelligence. There's no dilithium, tritanium, par steel. It's just intelligence.
Yeah, that's cool. That's big, especially given how much Trident Dill everything else has been looking at here lately. All these researches, at least related to the superhighways, is all in intelligence. No trite, no dill, and nothing else. Although one could argue that there could be some latinum involved here. Right?
Maybe.
Only 13 and a half years to get it unlocked, everybody. What do you think? Everybody, leave your comments in the section below this video. Transwarp conduits, a.k.a. superhighways from Scopely, connecting Origin space all the way up there to G5 space and reducing those 20-minute and 30-minute warp timers down to a couple of minutes. What do you think? Do you like the mechanic? Do you look forward to the day that you can have it? Leave your comments down below. We'll answer your questions. Also, please be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so while you are here. Share with your team. Smash that thumbs up. Click on the little bell so you know about stuff that is coming in the future here from UltimatDjz, Bubba Joe, and Gregor. Also, Criminal Ripper hanging out here a little bit earlier in the video, and all the team at Talking Trek producing a teaching Trek video for you today on Transwarp Conduits. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. My name is UltimatDjz. Meow for now. Love you, made it. See you later. Meow. Bye. Good night.